Hello, vinyl community, music community, and people of the world. Um, this is a product review, a turntable review. I'm pretty excited about this. I have wanted one of these for a very long time. I think a few years ago, I think the company is called Gramovox, and I think they started with a Kickstarter for and this is not that brand. This is this is another brand, but yes, it's the PLTT21BT, and as you can see, it's a vertical record player. They refer to it as a turntable, but I'm going to refer to it as a record player. Because at the price, this was $112. It has good Amazon reviews, but at that price point, my expectations are necessarily very low. The Gramovox one, if I remember correctly, was between $300 and $400. Yeah, so that kind of tells you what to expect. But you see here it says Bluetooth turntable, classic, vertical, standing record player speaker system. So it does have the built-in speakers. Obviously, we have low expectations for those. And yeah, but I had to try this out. You know, if it sounds like garbage, I will definitely be returning it. If it's at least decent, I'm going to replace my current backup turntable with this one and sell my other one. But yeah, I just love the idea of a vertical record player. So, all right, well, there. I don't know. You can see the specs there, and it is by Pyle. All right, so let's get into this. It looks like it's pre-assembled, which is fortunate. I do need to keep the packaging as nice as possible because I fully expect that it's going to be returned. I mean, if it sounds like garbage, I'm just going to have to return it. So let's definitely have to change the angle of the camera there so you can get a better look at it. We have the audio cable here, presumably, and an extra needle. And while I'm talking about needles, and let's just accept the fact that this is probably the equivalent of a Crosley, and I'm not a Crosley basher. If it can help get people into playing records, I think it's a good thing. And it's certainly a temporary solution, because if someone gets serious about it, we say, hey, I need to upgrade this. So I don't think in that short time span one needs to worry about damage to records. I mean, yeah. Wow. First of all, it's very heavy. I'm kind of impressed about that, actually. It's kind of surprising. Okay, hopefully I have it unpackaged. There was no assembly required. That's a huge plus. And I have to say, I love the feel of it. Possibly with the exception of the platter. The platter is just plastic, and the knob you see on here, just plastic. Of course, it has the standard cheapo tone arm. but it looks pretty nice. The speaker mesh looks really nice. This would look great sitting on a shelf. So, I mean, I love the look of it. Let's say that. I am a little concerned if I do have to return it. This could be tricky getting it put back in the box, but I have high hopes that that won't be necessary. Okay, so one thing I like about it is it has the 3 speeds, which is very uncommon on you know, good turntables. In fact, it's basically unheard of on good turntables. And I kind of like the possibility of playing 78s. So obviously you have the 78, 45, 33 and a third. You see there it has the Bluetooth indicator. And I assume this is the volume control. And it is pretty heavy, I have to say. I'm impressed. Apparently you can also play USB. That's pretty cool. Although if the speakers are as bad as I suspect, you know, it's probably not not going to be worth using USB. These give me. I meant to look up the term for these. I know they're for added bass resonance. Someone can inform me what these are called. That gives me some glimmer of hope that this might sound at least you know, okay. And there's 2 of them, so then you do have the connection for line out, so that's good for, you know, the inevitable desire to connect to external speakers. So, but yeah, I mean, I like the look of it. It's quite heavy, actually. The body itself feels very high quality, but again, you have, you know, this. You know, I should probably cut it a little bit of slack. It doesn't feel that chintzy. In fact, I wouldn't say it feels chintzy necessarily. Inexpensive, let's put it that way. All right, but I know what you want to see. Everybody wants to see it. Let's see it in action. Okay, so for demonstration purposes, you know, it just goes without saying I have to use colored vinyl, and I also have to use something that YouTube is not going to throw a fit over, and it is the VC's own Mr. Derek Higgins with Flyover. So I think this will be a good one. All right, so it looks like I don't know if we unscrew this part, or if it just, okay, I see. It's magnetic, and it's a pretty strong magnet, actually. So that's impressive. And there is a little pad there. Not much of a pad, but enough that, you know, it's not going to damage the record. So let's check this out. And I think this is just going to look amazing spinning vertically. So we have side A here. So you put it like this. It says lightly place it on there. It is leaning back slightly. So, you know, it's not just going to fall off like when you take this off. So that's a good thing. Yeah, I feel like that's really strong on there. So I feel very comfortable with it. Um, Apparently, the next step is right here. We have the volume control and on off knob. So we'll turn that on. I'm not sure how the volume is going to be. On here, we have to be sure and take off the protective cap. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting. All right, so it should start spinning when I move it over. Yep, sure enough. I'm doing this left-handed or right-handed, but it looks awesome. Well, I have to say, um, it's definitely not the worst sounding record player. Um, it looks pretty pretty amazing, I must say. That is very, very cool. I would definitely connect it to external speakers. Wow. I do notice what little bass it does have is kind of going that way rather than this way. So I think placement would ideally be basically, probably near a wall or something that's going to bounce the bass back to you, what little bass there is. It has more bass than I thought there would be. It definitely doesn't sound like it's coming out of a tin can, which is a good thing. That's a common problem with, little chintzy record players. Wow. I have to say, I think this is a keeper. Wow. I'm curious to try a 45 on here now. Let's try that out. Okay, so here I'm opting to play probably just a little snippet of Willie Nelson's September song. So, and yes, I will do my Willie Nelson collection at some point. I'm curious to see, like, how... It seems like it needs a 45 adapter. Oh, okay, I see. This is actually quite interesting. Let's focus on this for a moment. So this apparently has a built-in 45 adapter. So basically, it looks like we're gonna put the record directly on here first. Let's see if I could do this without damaging the record. Sorry, there's a different setup for me, so... Alright, so, that's interesting. I'm not quite sure, let's focus on that again. I'm not quite sure how centered this is, but let's switch it to 45, and let's give it a shot. Whew. All right. So there's some noise there. Now, this is an old record, and I haven't actually played this one before, so I don't know how good it's supposed to sound, but I do notice there's some bouncing there, which I don't really like. But yeah, I probably wouldn't play 45s on here anyway. Ideally, one would probably use a 45 adapter that you actually insert in the record itself. That would probably make it much more stable. So, and I'm hoping, again, this is kind of awkward for me, so I'm hoping I didn't put the needle on the plate in there, but I had a little issue there. I don't know if you caught that, but yeah, so that works. But I'm very iffy about doing 45s on here. But anyway, other than that, I have to say, I'm kind of impressed. I'm really kind of impressed. So impressed that I want to hear more of Derek Higgins' music. We'll put it on side B this time. Yes, side B. There we go. Again, it is leaning ever so slightly back, so I feel very safe with it, even just sitting there like that. But obviously, you want to use the magnetic attachment there. And let's put it back to 33 1/3. And I'm pretty sure I would pretty much exclusively play 12-inch and 10-inch records on here. So again, I doubt I would play 45s. Ordinarily, I'd be using my left hand to set down the needle, but I'm pretty sure this album is long sold out, but you may or may not know that Derek Higgins is very, very prolific, and yeah, he has a ton of music out there. He is on Bandcamp. I will definitely include links to his Bandcamp. We have to support independent music, and Derek has been doing his thing for a long time now, and he consistently puts out excellent music, and he loves all styles of music too. So let's hear a little bit of this. Wow. I have to say I'm a little surprised. I did not expect to like this thing this much. You know, we have to expect that there's potentially issues with the tracking force. I'm not sure how one would go about measuring the tracking force on a vertical record player. I assume, well, yeah, I'll let someone else figure out that because I'm not really concerned about it, honestly. I'm just mesmerized by this spinning record right now. So, wow. So, I mean, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the Pyle PLTT21BT. Wow. This is pretty amazing. I think my ATLP 60 is going to be finding a new home, because this is just too good to pass up. And once I get it plugged into good speakers, it's going to sound much better. And I mean, just look at that. That's pretty amazing. Here it is, connected to some computer speakers. Sounds much better. I've moved it to it's going to be its final home, apparently. One thing to note is supposedly when it gets to the end of the side, it automatically stops. So we'll see that in action in a moment. I do have to say, it's very, very tricky setting the needle down gently. Because that arm is spring-loaded, obviously, so it is a little bit tricky. There's probably a new scratch on this record. It's just about over. And there it is. It makes a little tone when it's over. Wow. Wow. All right, and thanks again to Derek Higgins for making this excellent music. All right, so there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.